I have a couple questions.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead.
a few years back, I had some ringing in my ear
Yep,
and pressure.
yep.
I went to a specialist, which I think is a quack because he kept me on, yeah, he kept me on prednisone for a
Yep,
year.
yep,
I did nothing but gain weight,
yep,
felt awful.
yep.
And then my sister, who's a pharmacist, didn't realize what I was doing. And she's like, wow, no offense, you've gained a lot of weight lately.
Yeah.
And I told her, our doctor has had me on prednisone for a year. And she's like, what?
Yeah, that guy shouldn't be practicing. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not a doctor, but you don't put anybody on prednisone for a year.
Yeah. And she's like, stop now. I've always had a spot on my right lung, and I get it checked out every few years
Yeah.
just to make sure it's not turning into anything. They think it was just when I got sick when I was a child. But every time I get it checked, I don't even really hear anything back from the doctor. Literally, I got done with the scan, went over to my father's house to have lunch with him. Phone was ringing. Only been half an hour. And then the nurse was like, hey, something came up. I need to ask you a couple questions. I was like, yeah, what's going on? She goes, and I'm thinking, oh, great, cancer or it's grown. And she goes, how heavy of a drinker are you? And I was like, well, I like to drink, but I'm not a heavy drinker, or I only have a few drinks a week. Why? What's going on? Just because your liver is rather large and it's got fat all over it.
Yeah.
And my sister, who's a pharmacist, told me, yeah, that's from the prednisone.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, this ivermectin is going to do something for me.
Absolutely it will.
Good.
Absolutely it will. This is all going to stem from your brain. This is all going to stem from the weak electrical pulses that are coming out of your brain through your nerves. So the parasites in your body are wearing you down. So that fatty liver, there are several people that have come on the chat with fatty livers that no longer have fatty livers. But you've got to get off the prednisone.
Oh, yeah, I've been off of it for a while now.
Okay, so now your body can repair. You need to get the parasites out of the way that are inside you that are impeding your health, that are stopping you from getting better. So yes, the ivermectin will help you.
Okay. Yeah, I've been off of it for well over a year now.
Good.
One more thing that I
Yeah,
haven't heard anyone else bring up,
yeah.
and I've suffered with this since my mom noticed it when I was 3 years old. RLS, restless
So,
leg syndrome.
okay. Tell me
I
what
don't
it
know.
does to you.
To
Autoimmune.
tell you the truth, I think it's physiological.
Okay.
It's usually in the evening.
Yep.
Sometimes it's during the day.
Yep.
But like my left leg or my right leg, they don't usually do it at the same time together. And it just feels like you've got to get up and move.
Yep.
And I'm just curious if there's anyone else out there who's had that issue, who's taken the ivermectin, if they've noticed an improvement. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'm going to order some ivermectin
Yep.
and hopefully take care of my fatty liver and other issues. I'm also hoping maybe that'll help with that.
Well, I don't know about that per se, but I can tell you that there were several people with restless leg syndrome. I don't know what that falls under, but I know that it takes care of restless leg quite quickly. And that's just bad nerve pulses coming from your brain. And I'm just telling you in human terms, like regular terms, not trying to be a doctor and giving you all these crazy words that you got to try to look them all up and you got no idea.
Right.
In English, your brain is misfiring. Everything stems from bad electrical pulses coming out of your brain, which are caused by parasites. And the parasites get all through your body and they start to deteriorate and they compromise your organs. I know this because I lived it.
Well, my mom noticed it coming home from grandma's. It's a good 2.5, 3 hour drive home. And I would fall asleep in the back seat and I would be whimpering a little bit. And finally, my mom's like, you all right? And all I could explain it at that age was my leg tickles.
Yep.
Back then in the 70s, they didn't have RLS. They didn't categorize it yet.
That's because
So,
they didn't
yeah,
have it. They just put names on things to push more pills.
yeah. And I take a pill a night.
Yep. So I will say when you start to take the ivermectin, the pencil eraser twice a day, do that for a couple of weeks and then back off of your pill, or do the ivermectin for a week and then take your pill every other day and see how you're starting to go by then. It's like anybody that's diabetic or anybody with blood pressure issues will say, yes, 100%, your diabetes is going to go away. I know that factually. With blood pressure, yes, your blood pressure is going to go away factually. But you're on medication and you're supposed to monitor yourself. I can only tell you what the stuff does because I've spoken to people like I'm speaking to you now firsthand that say, son of a bitch, I'm better. But people with diabetes, you need to monitor your sugar because your pancreas is going to start to operate correctly. Whether your sugar was high or your sugar was low when you were taking insulin or you were doing whatever the medication is, because there's so many types. You need to monitor your sugar levels. Same thing with blood pressure. So you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to get the ivermectin in your system, which you can overlap it with all medications. So you're going to get that point where you're going to have an overlap of 6 to 10 days. And then you're going to start to back off of your other medication. But you're going to be the one to decide how fast you back off of that medication. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to go from there. But I can tell you that it's going to work. The fatty liver thing, I'm not even concerned with. You're going to be fine with that. Honestly, I've spoken to enough people that have cured that with ivermectin. I'm not even worried about it.
Well, you've answered everything I've wanted. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Let us know how you're doing. And that way you can educate other people on what it's done for you. That's why I like to do the testimonies.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
What about people that are on bipolar medication?
Okay. So any mental illness, I can't wait to get yelled at for this one. Mental illness. And everybody will tell you when you go to your doctor, if you want to call them a doctor.
I don't trust doctors anymore.
Well, they will tell you that it's a chemical imbalance in your brain. The chemical imbalance in your brain is just kind of like what I was saying with the pancreas not making the right amount of insulin. Your brain also creates different chemicals. If you get parasites in your brain, those chemicals change. And therefore, you wind up with different forms of mental illness. There are articles out in the chat medically proving that. And I got those articles from reliable sources. Otherwise, I would not have put it in my chat.
Okay.
So when you join the group, when you go through and you can read, I mean, there's some goofy stuff on there. I try to keep it not all serious, but when you start to look at all the different things that are out there, like the guy that won the Nobel Peace Prize for ivermectin, I have everything out there. So you can just go through and it's really good reading if you're ready to take your health into your own hands. So the mental illness thing is something that can absolutely be addressed.
What about a dead thyroid?
Something like that, I'm not going to answer because the dead thyroid is from, what'd you do, chemotherapy?
No, I was diagnosed with a dead thyroid after my first daughter was born. I was 31, and I've been taking levothyroxine forever.
Okay. So what I will tell you is this would be good if you would do this. Like I'm guinea pigging myself with putting liquid ivermectin in my eyes for eye drops. If you have nothing to lose, ivermectin is either going to do something or it's going to do nothing.
Okay.
So if you start to take it, like I said, it's either going to help you or it's going to do nothing at all.
Right.
So you have nothing to lose by trying it. If you would like to try it, stay on that 2 pencil erasers a day and work your way. And if you decide that the Herxing is no big deal and you want to take more, you can always up it to more. But I would say that's definitely worth, because that's come up several times. And I always tell people I have no idea, but in most cases, that's why I asked if it was from chemotherapy and radiation, because a lot of cancer patients have a dead thyroid after they go through that trauma.
Well, I had breast cancer, but I didn't have to do chemo or radiation. I just had to take a 5-year pill, which I'm sure didn't do anything good for me.
What was the pill? Was it chemotherapy in a pill?
I can't even remember the name of it because I've been off of it for a year.
Check that out, what it was, because you might be surprised. It might have been.
Yeah, but I was still diagnosed with the dead thyroid before I even got the breast cancer.
Okay. All right. No, just trying to connect dots. Okay. So, yeah, I would honestly say no fear. Try it out.
Okay.
And keep us posted and see how you're doing.
Definitely.
And the very best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.